All right, guys, what's up? We're live. We got our pre-workout in our blood now, so we're good to go. Show some love to Kevin if you're on the stream right now. If you're on the replay, give me a hashtag replay. We already have some questions to answer, but we'll get to that a little later down the line. I'm just excited to introduce Kevin to you guys who don't know who he is. I don't know if you know this, Kevin, and this is funny because this for my last guest, it was the same thing. I figured out about him on a IG like post on Facebook that was like a follow train. And I was like, I looked into your account and I was like, oh man, we have so many mutual friends. And then a few months later, we met each other at Dream 100 Con. And then we were chatting in a hotel lobby and that was awesome. But I kind of want to go more off of that conversation we had in the hotel lobby, which was like your story and how you got to be here. And like, cause you're more than a video expert, you're a father and like you've had lows in your life as well. So if you can kind of go like back in time a little bit, let us know a little bit more about you.
Yeah, I mean, it all kind of, it really came to a head in 2010 at the end of the year when I lost my job. It was like right before Christmas. I remember it like it was yesterday because it was like so upsetting, to get laid off right before Christmas. I think it was December 21st, 2010.
Ouch.
And at the time I was married and we had a 6-month-old and I got the news. It's like, hey, we don't need you here anymore. You're laid off. And so I just remember going down to my car and it was raining outside and I just felt like such a failure. And I just sat in my car and I cried. Because I was just like, I can't provide for my family anymore. Like, what am I going to do now? And so I called my wife and told her the news. And instead of her being like, upset and being like, oh, this is terrible, she was like supportive. She said, hey, why don't you just start your own video company? I mean, you've been doing videos since like 2004. Why don't you start your own company? And so I was like, man, that's a huge mountain to climb, but you know what? Why not? So I did it on the first day of 2011. I hit the ground running and I built my company from 0 to 6 figures in 6 months. And so I just I locked myself in that room from like 8 to 5 every day. And I was like, I am not coming out of here until I like make some wins. Like I just did anything I could do, just to reach out to people, email people, like, list my services on websites, did all that stuff. So here we are 7 years later.
I mean, that's interesting. Like you said, you were doing it recreationally since 2004. Like, what was that? What did that entail? Like recreationally video? Like,
yeah, I got out of college. I got a degree in video production. I got out of college and I was just kind of dabbling in projects here and there. And I got a corporate job at a couple different companies where I was, doing video inside of their company. And so I did that for a while. That's what was my gig is I was a director of video production for 2 different companies over the span of like, I think it was like 6 years. And so, I mean, it was great. I learned a ton. I started to network with a lot of people. So that way, when I started my company, the transition was a little bit easier than it could have been had I not known what I knew before. So yeah, I edited a bunch of TV shows and web TV shows. And I must have produced thousands of videos by the time I started my own company.
So where do you live now and where'd you go to college?
I live in Temecula, California, and I went to college at Cal State San Marcos.
So you've been in California your whole life?
Yeah, whole life.
That's
actually
awesome.
I moved to Vail, Colorado for 4 months. So that was it, to become a lift operator and snowboard. I was a ski bum for 4 months, but other than that.
So I don't know too many video guys out there. I know a few. But your stuff is like, it's very like engaging and I'm sure it's all purposeful. But I kind of want to get into something that could be relevant for everyone right now. And is how, like, can you talk a little bit about how important video is for like building your personal brand or your presence online right now? Like,
yeah, videos. I mean, video is if you guys haven't read Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson, that's like one of the main topics that he talks about, and it's being the attractive character for your brand. And so no matter what niche you're in, I mean, you've got to get in front of the camera. I mean, even if some people have the argument, well, I'm in e-commerce, like how am I supposed to get in front of the camera? I'm selling like a little, I'm selling this pen or whatever it is. Become the face of your brand still. I mean, people still want to see, somebody who's the face behind it. That way they can relate to someone so they know who they're buying from. So being the face of your brand is super, super important. And then creating videos in general, it's just, it's something that people are used to nowadays. They're used to seeing a video about how something is used or how explain like why they should buy it, or seeing testimonial videos about other peers, talking about why this product is great. Like, yeah, you should definitely buy it. You can't explain that stuff with images and text on a website or a funnel. You can't. It just doesn't convey the same message. And so, it's the old saying, like, pictures are worth 1,000 words. Like, videos are worth, gosh, I mean, I don't even know how you would equate it. It's like millions. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a proof. Like, you can't like argue with it. It's proven. Like, videos are the number one way to go. That's why you see so many people creating content nowadays. If you're not creating content, and you're just thinking like, oh, I'm just going to make a blog and I'm going to get it out there, like, no, you're going to get left behind. Like, you've got to incorporate video into that blog or video into whatever it is you're doing. So, yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, it's a mixture of sound and pictures. And it's just like, that's why movies do so well. That's what, I mean, so I kind of, and that's also, you brought up like, e-commerce and such. There's also other ways to do it as well. Cause our friend Peter Prue, Peter Prue, right?
I think so.
Well, he was at Dream 100 Con, and he had an e-commerce brand for fishing. He wasn't the face behind it, but he knew the importance of it. So he had someone else be the face behind the brand because people connect to faces.
Yep.
And yeah,
that's the best way I like to make a comparison is like, imagine if Ashton Kutcher, right? He's a celebrity. If he goes out right now today and just says like, hey everyone, there's this new shoe that just came out, like, you have to buy it. Like, guess what? Everyone's gonna buy it because they don't know why they trust him. They trust him just because they've seen him in movies. Like, he could be a terrible guy. He's not. He's a great guy, but like, he could be a terrible guy. But like, just because you've seen his face on all these movies, you're like, immediately you have this connection with him that you can't explain. That if he says buy something, you're gonna go buy it. So the same thing goes with your brand or whatever you're selling. Like, if you're the face behind it, people want to buy it because they like watching you on camera. They like watching your journey. They trust you, so they're gonna buy it from you.
Yeah, it's just familiarity. Like, people love that.
Yep.
That's pretty much what branding is, actually, just familiarity, like over and over. So for someone who's like, they're not on video enough, how would you what would you recommend to them to like overcome their fear of being on video?
Yeah, I get that a lot. And what I tell people is, if you're completely afraid of being on camera, I would start making videos of yourself. Well, let me rewind. First, write down a couple topics that you want to talk about. So, you always want to educate people on whatever it is that you're doing. So, create like a list of some simple tips and tricks of things that you want to talk about in video. Like, think about like a 60-second video, and start making videos with your smartphone. And now here's the trick: is that if you're totally terrified of like what you look like or what you sound like, then don't show those videos to anybody. Just like put them in the vault on your phone, and just, don't show them to anybody, and keep making videos until one day you're going to watch it and you're going to look at it and go, actually, that's pretty good. I think I'm going to share that with the world. I did that with a friend of mine. He runs a company that builds websites for real estate companies, and he was afraid to be on camera. He did that. He started making videos, and he was making them on his phone. I think it was by like the 10th or 11th one, he finally was like, wow, this is actually pretty good. And he like showed it to a friend of his, and he's like, what do you think of this? And his friend was like, oh, that's pretty good. Maybe you should put it online. So he put it online. And then the other thing is like Facebook Lives. I was afraid of doing Facebook Lives. And so what I would do in the beginning is I created a private Facebook group where I was the only person in it. So that way I could experience what it's like to go live, but have no one watch. So that way you're like, oh, you're hitting that big red button that says record, like, oh, we're live right now. And it's like, you get anxiety like you do when you go live, like being live right now with you. Like, at first you're like, oh crap, we're going to go live. But going live into a group with no one's there, it's like, oh, whatever, who cares? Like, you can screw up. So you talk, try to act like there's people watching, and then watch the video back later and go, oh, and then you can look at it and go, I need to improve on that. Like, I need to have more energy in that video or whatever it is. So, the other thing is 10xing your energy. I tell people to do that too all the time. Whether you're on stage or you're on video, you have to bring the energy, because when you're talking to someone in person, you don't have that much energy. If you did, it would be weird. People would be like, dude, this guy's on crack. Like, what is this deal? You tone it down when you talk to somebody in person, but when you're on video, you have to have more energy. Like, you really got to bring it. You got to be excited about what you're talking about. And then my rule is always to say, like, 10x your energy to the point where it just feels ridiculous, like you're being a crazy person. and then watch it back and see if it's too much, or show it to someone else and say, was this too much? And 9.9 times out of 10, it's not going to be too much. It's going to be just right.
Yeah. What's up, Dan Kayer? What's going on, man? Thanks for being live. It's so funny that you say that too, because a lot of times we're in life and we're boring, whatever, we're talking to someone, but the person can't usually leave that conversation. But if you're online and if you're like on a video, like you'll easily get swiped or paused, or they'll go on to the next thing. So that's why that 10x rule, like that applies, like that's gold. And what you said too, like before going live, and I love that tip, by the way, of starting your own Facebook group and going private first and doing lives, because that's what I did first. Like, but I did it with YouTube's. So I just created a ton of videos, but they're all unlisted, they're all private, and it was just for me to get out of that like state and like get comfortable. And there was actually a study, I don't know if you heard of this. They were looking at people with high anxiety, and a group of psychologists figured out that because anxiety and excitement is almost the same chemical formula that's going on in your body, the same hormones. So if like they did a study with people who close their eyes when they're in high anxiety situations, and they just told themselves, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. They became excited, and like, I forget what test they did afterwards, but it was like, they improved like significantly, like they weren't anxious anymore. And it's just like a mindset, you know? Wow. So quick
That's
tip.
Great. I didn't know about
that. Credit Ninja. Kevin is the best.
Leanne? I love Leanne. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's one of a kind. I haven't met anyone like her. Chad, what's up, Chad?
Hit up Leanne.
If you guys have any questions, ask them below for Kevin about video, about how he runs his business too. We'll get into that a little bit on how you create. Let's get into that now, actually. How do you when do you start using funnels for your business, and how impactful have they been for you?
Funnels are super impactful because you are qualifying someone before they actually reach out to you. So what's cool about ClickFunnels is you can set up a application funnel. Like if you go to the homepage of ClickFunnels right now and go to where it says generate leads, and then click on the left, it'll say squeeze page, and the right, it'll say application funnel. Go to application funnels, and you don't even have to have an account yet, but you can at least fish around and look and see what they look like. But yeah, you want to get people, once people land on your page, you can start having them answer some questions, like ask them like, what kind of video are you looking for? Or, what are some example videos that you're looking to produce? And then you can get their email, their information, their phone number, and then have them submit, and then you can reach out to them. And I think I'm answering the question that you asked, right? Using funnels for your business. Yeah, they're
clutch. I mean, I kind of want to get into now though. How did you get some of your biggest clients? Like, how did it start for you? Where did you get your break? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember that. So are you talking about ClickFunnels?
I mean, if that's where you feel like you got your break, then yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty big break. I mean, prior to 2015, I was working with a lot of clients. I've worked with a ton of great clients. And so my break, of course, came before that. Like I've worked with Costco and Mercedes-Benz and Inc. magazine, Chase Bank, and just all these huge clients, PF Chang's.
How did they find out about you?
They found out about me on my website at the time. And so also I partner up with a friend of mine who owns a company out in Scottsdale, Arizona. And so he's got a lot of clients. And so he brought me in on projects a lot as well. And so I owe a lot to him. But yeah, what was the question? Okay, so moving on to 2000, I think it was a year and a half ago. So I think it was I think it was 2016. I was in the ClickFunnels group, and Russell Brunson said, "Hey, does anyone good at editing videos? We're working on a new project. So, drop links to your stuff below." And so it was like 9 o'clock at night, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm already busy. I work 40 hours a week in my video production company. Like, I don't need any extra work, but I'm like, you know what? Why not? It's Russell Brunson. He's the man. I'll just comment below and see what happens. Like, probably not going to reach out to me. So I did. I submitted my links to my stuff. Luckily, I had done stuff. I did work for Infusionsoft, which is his biggest competitor. And they actually offered me a job just before that. And I had to turn it down because I don't want to move to Arizona. But anyway, so I dropped the link to the videos that I did. And I think it was the Infusionsoft thing that probably triggered it for him, because I dropped the link to 3 different videos. And he reached out to me within 10 minutes, messages me on Facebook's like, "Hey, dude, love your work. I want to chat with you." And immediately I was like, this is a bot. There's no way this is actually Russell Brunson. And it was sure enough, it was him. We chatted, and he's like, "Yeah, hit me up on Voxer." So we started voxing. And then he sent me a bunch of footage for their first episode of Funnel Hacker TV. And I had made it my life's mission to make it like the best episode I've ever edited of anything I've ever done. And I wouldn't even talk about money with him. I was like, he's like, how much do I owe you? I'm like, I don't want to talk about money. I want to prove myself to you. And so I did. And then the rest is history. So now we're uploading episode 100 this week or next week. Crazy.
Nice. I just saw the latest episode. It was awesome, dude. Like you outdid yourself there. And maybe watch the whole thing, by the way.
Nice.
Austin Ford Team Live. What's up, dude? Also a fellow funnel hacker. Leanne says collaboration is key. I kind of want to get into another question, but let me answer Dan's first. He asked, what video editing tool / app is best for a moderate Mac user? That's not for phones, I guess, just for your desktop.
Dude, I would use Premiere, man. Like, don't waste your time with all those other softwares that pop up. Like, you're going to see like apps like, oh, get iMovie or get, all these like weak little editing programs. Like, you're just wasting your time, because if you're gonna spend the time to learn a software, because all of them have a learning curve because they're all different, spend the time to learn the one that is going to make you money if you want to start making money one day, or if you want to edit serious videos, learn Premiere. Like, there's a video on YouTube where it says, type in on YouTube, learn Premiere in 20 minutes. Like, you'll be editing in 20 minutes. You're not going to be an expert. You're not going to be like, getting a job editing in Premiere yet, but I mean, still, it'll get you started. So yeah, dude, get that. I actually have an affiliate link for Premiere. I should. Yeah,
boom. There you go.
I think it's
comment hashtag Premiere below, and he'll give you that link.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, because I have a degree in YouTube, to be honest. Like, a lot of stuff is like searched on YouTube. It's funny though how you said that how you got to working with Russell was from a Facebook post, because I feel like he's done that with a lot of people actually. Josh Ryan, who's doing his Instagram, that was the same thing. He's like, I'm looking for a guy for Instagram, and then he commented, and he kind of outsources his work from his community, which is like epic.
Yeah, it's so smart because they're evangelists already. So
exactly. Are there any big projects you're working on right now, or is that like where your main focus is? I know you're doing your course and your products as well. If you want to talk a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, I have a product coming out. Like, well, to back up, like I
think your mic cut out.
Is it cutting out?
I don't know if that's me.
Can everyone else hear me?
You guys hear Kevin say something?
Oh boy.
You guys can't hear. Give me a can't hear down low. You might have to refresh this.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
We good?
Yeah, you're good. Boom. Cool. So yeah, you remember the question?
Technology. So I work primarily with ClickFunnels, doing all their stuff right now. But I'm coming out with a product where I'm going to teach people how to get leads on autopilot for their video production business. And it's a tough thing for a lot of people because they're struggling with having to go to networking events. They have to go to, spending money on Google stuff that's not working, or cold calling, cold emailing. I was there. I know what it's like to try to grow a video business. And so I'm coming out with a product where it teaches people how to set up a system so that way you can start getting leads on autopilot. Like, you're just getting people inquire and you get their phone number and you follow up with them on the phone and you close them. So yeah, I'm super excited about that.
How, do you have a team for your company, or is it just you? Like, where are you at right now?
I kind of have a team. They're not employees, but I have a lot of independent contractors that I outsource stuff to. Like, I just had a shoot in New York yesterday. I mean, I wasn't there. So on average, I have like 2 or 3 shoots a week that I'm not doing myself. And so I'll outsource, because what happened when I signed up with Russell is it was like, okay, well, I want to keep my video production business, but I can't be in it anymore. And so I have to outsource all of that and then focus all my time on ClickFunnels. And so that's what I'm doing now. So I have I have a board full of video projects over here. Like, Allstate Insurance is another one that we just got. And it's just like, I can't do it anymore. I just have to like outsource it. So.
And what kind of specific video projects? Is this like for paid advertisements or like for their website? Are they like a specific type of video you're doing right now, focusing on, or?
Looking at my board, a lot of them are testimonial type videos. So using a product or like a software, for example, like we go out, like yesterday we had a shoot where we went out and we interviewed somebody, and we had them talk about why they love using the software for TriNet. TriNet's like ADP's biggest competitor. So they talk about why they love it. And so we do a whole video about their business and why they love using the TriNet software. So yeah, testimonial videos are huge. You know, and quick promo videos for people's websites and things like that. It's a mixture, man. It just depends on what people are looking for. Promos for events.
And I saw too that do you do all of your, so they call them themes, which is like a meme, which a video meme, you can call it whatever you want. But do you do all of those like on your app, or is it usually like desktop and you export it?
The ones that I do on my Instagram?
Yeah, or just on your phone. Is it like usually all like native to phone or?
Yeah, a lot of those I do on my phone. I don't leave my phone at all. So I'll shoot it and I'm watching timer at the top. And I know once it hits a minute, I'm like, you know, the buzzer goes off in my head. I'm like, crap, that was too long, because Instagram has a 1 minute limit. So I just record it on my camera and then I bring it into InShot, which is an app. And then you type in your headline at the top and the bottom and then export it and you're on your way. Because like,
InShot. Okay, cool.
I should talk about that for people who are like, what is a meme or what is a meme video? It's basically, it's a video where you turn it into a square. So it occupies a good amount of space on Instagram. It's kind of like if you go to a bookstore and you see a book on the left and a book on the right. Like the book on the left has just a picture on the cover, right? But the book on the right has a picture and it has a headline that says what the book's about. Obviously, like if you had to choose, you're going to pick the one that has the headline, right? Because you already have a sense of what you're about to dive into. Same goes with videos. If people are scrolling their Facebook or their Instagram feed and they just see a video, they're less likely to stop. But if they see a headline that says, "Hey, this is what this is about," you know, they're more likely to click on it. And you always want to evoke emotion and curiosity. So curiosity is the number one thing. If you can write a headline that just evokes curiosity, that makes people want to stop on it, then you're golden.
Yeah,
so.
and it like kind of pre-frames it and like helps them like kind of listen to the end. Like some videos are like, I still fall for it. They're like, watch the end if you want to see this, and I have to watch the whole thing to see the end, and it kind of gets you in there. Right. Nathan says, I should follow up with sold customers, get those testimonials. How do you get testimonials from all your clients?
I don't get them from all of my clients. I get them from the good ones. I did a video for an attorney recently, and she told me that one video that I made for her landed her one client, which was $1 million. So I was like, I'm gonna need to get that on video. So I like drove down there and had her say it. So yeah, testimonials are super powerful. Just get a testimonial. And what I did is I just did it kind of ghetto style. Like I just took my phone and I stood next to her and I was like, hey, so like, tell me about your results. Cause that way, like if somebody's watching that in the future, they know that like you were actually with her, standing next to her, and then you can run ads to that on Facebook and you'll kill it.
Cool. InShot app, downloading it now. Nice. How do you develop content for your guest, or is it kind of just from their head, or do you help them develop content, or is it just from their head and you just kind of edit it?
For my clients?
For any of your clients, yeah.
I'll usually steer them and guide them, because a lot of people don't understand marketing. They just say, they just think that they're going to make a cool video and it's just going to change their life. But like, you have to understand, like who are you serving? Like, what's the purpose of your video? Like, what's the end goal? And so, yeah, I try to guide them along the way and say, okay, cool. Like they'll send me a script. Sometimes I'm like, like your script doesn't make sense. And I'll kind of like reword it for them, send it back to them. So yeah, I'm pretty heavily involved in a lot of the projects that I do when I do them. So
yeah, because I'm sure too, some of like the industries you probably do work for, like they're not really familiar with expert secrets or the attractive character. So their success is your success. So
exactly.
Nathan asked, have you had success with behind the scenes videos?
Yeah, I think behind the scenes videos is he talking about like using like behind the scenes videos about his own company, I would guess. I'll just assume that's what he's talking about. Yeah, I think behind the scenes videos are super powerful because people can see behind the curtain. And they can see you at work, they can see you working, and don't be afraid to be the face of that. Like if you're making a video about your company, like, hey, we do video production, like get in front of the camera sometimes and explain like what you're doing. Be like, hey, what's up? We're at a shoot right now. And we're interviewing somebody, and we've got this light and that light. We're using this camera, and it's going to be an amazing day. I mean, you could make like a short little 60-second video like that and throw it up on Instagram. People love that stuff. Like, it's just like, and don't overdo it. Like people are trying to like make some crazy behind the scenes video. Like maybe you spend like weeks making it, and it's like you edit it and it's awesome, but like that's one video. So now you throw that out there, and then sometimes it's like wah wah, it doesn't get very many views, and you're like, oh crap. So then you got to make another one. You spent all this time. It's more about like quantity over quality for that type of stuff. Showing people what you're doing. Like whenever I'm out at a shoot, when I was growing my video business, I was constantly taking behind the scenes pictures and putting them up on Instagram, constantly taking videos and putting them up on social media, putting them up on LinkedIn too, because people see that stuff. Like it's more like quantity, like your videos keep showing up in the feed or pictures that keep showing up. People see that stuff. So
yeah. Your free training, that is specifically for people who have video service businesses, right?
It not necessarily. I was sharing that with you. I mean, there's the video word is in there a lot, but like you could easily apply that to any other service business, whether you're a photographer or like, let's say you're just a lighting guy, or you're just a sound guy, or you just do motion graphics, or you're just an editor, you're just a videographer. Like, I mean, I don't care if you're a, gosh, like trying to think of something else. Like, I want to say plumber, but that doesn't really make sense.
The concept still apply, you mean, like as far as getting the right people and like
concept applies. Definitely, yeah, check it out because you're going to get a lot of valuable stuff out of that. If you're a service provider in some way, like you'll get a lot out. Cool.
And he just whipped this up last night, guys. So if you want that training, comment #VideoBoss and we'll send it to you. Pure value, pure value. Austin asked, what's your hat size? Don't see why that's relevant, but
I have no idea. I'm afraid to take out my hat right now because I have hat head.
That's gonna be a meme, dude. If you take it off, just letting you know, I'm gonna beam this.
All right, just hat. I don't even. It probably won't even say it on this hat, but I will.
I think I know what's happening here.
I'll get back to you.
I think Austin's trying to dream 100 you right now, dude.
He's trying to dream 100 me. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna ask for his address now?
Austin after. Austin's the man.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll get back to you, buddy.
Sweet. So what are you obsessed with right now as far as like video world? As far as like techniques, styles, or people who are doing really good on video, or like something that's emerging, whether it's a platform or yeah.
Gosh. Honestly, like ever since I've discovered the whole marketing videos in general, I've been obsessed with that, like testing things and trying things, because I have the opportunity to work with the amazing company Click Funnels. And so like whenever I, push out a video, like they just kind of like they accept it and they go with it and they're like, cool, let's try it and see what happens. Like they don't make corrections or like make adjustments, say, oh, why don't you change this headline? It's usually just like whatever I give them goes. So it's kind of like I get to take advantage of their platform to test things. And so I've learned a ton about what works and what doesn't. So I don't know, that gets me excited. Like video, like film and movies, it's such a different thing than videos that go on Facebook and Instagram. Like it's fun to like put headlines on things or try, like if you follow Gary Vee, like he puts these little the progress bars at the bottom, like trying that stuff, trying different colors. It's just exciting. I love all that stuff. I love testing.
I was gonna ask you that actually. I forgot, but now I remember. Can you do that on a phone app, the progress bar, or is that just there's no apps that do that?
No, you have to do that in Premiere. And so I actually have a training on that. People want that, I can, maybe comment below and we can talk about that later. But about how to do it in Premiere. I think I
actually saw that. I saw that. I think it was cool because your video froze on my screen. I hope it's not frozen for people. He's gonna reconnect real quick. Boom, we're good. We're live.
I got a phone call right in the middle. I don't know what.
I think it was cool because you saw an ad of a company doing it. I forget which company, and then you recreated it, and it looked just the same, if better.
Which one?
Do you know that?
I don't remember.
I think it was I forget which brand, but it was like a YouTube ad. You're like, oh, I like that section, and I'm gonna redo it in Premiere, and then you redid it.
Yeah, I don't remember which one that was.
You probably do that all day.
That sounds like something that I would do. Like that's like a whole thing that I was teaching for a little while, which is video hacking, is going out and taking other people's work and kind of redoing it.
We have some, and by the way, if someone ever makes that app for the progress bar, I'll pay for that, because that whole process of like going to the desktop and having to send it to your phone, like gets repetitive. Yeah. We got some #video bosses here. Dan Kayer says, yes, training on Premiere. I don't know where you have that. Do you have it anywhere?
Yeah, I have a whole course actually on video production in general. But if people, I'm going to go back through here, you guys, and answer a lot of the comments. So just put your questions in there. I have Premiere training, and I have all kinds of fun stuff out there in the interwebs.
Sounds good. I'm probably gonna have to zip through that because Premiere gives me a headache sometimes. Have you done any viral video launches?
I have. I mean, every video that you make is supposed to be viral, so I guess it's kind of like I haven't really had a video that went viral. So to answer that right away, but a lot of the stuff that I do with the intention of it going viral. So we're always trying things. Like I made a video for ClickFunnels, it was for funnel scripts, and I edited a bunch of funny YouTube videos together, and I was hoping that would go viral because it was funny and it was selling a product at the same time. But I mean, a lot of the stuff that I've done, it's, they've gotten a few 100,000 views, nothing crazy. So we're still kind of working on how to crack the code on that. But
I mean, viral is it's pretty much whatever gets shared the most. What post have you made that has gotten shared the most? Do you know off the top of your head?
That's gotten shared the most?
Yeah, you probably won't know off the top of your head, but just curious.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. There's
been
a ton. I've done, like I said, thousands of videos. So yeah,
probably some of your videos are getting shared right now as we speak.
I'm sure they are.
I have a question. Felicia says definitely wants to get better at Premiere. Awesome, Felicia. Who has impacted your life the most? Which person?
I would say Russell Brunson, man. I owe a lot to him. So he's an amazing guy from a business perspective, and then a father perspective. I look up to him, and in the way that he runs his empire, and then the way he is with his family. I looked up to him a lot. So definitely. In the last 3 years, I've only known him for 2 years, but in the last 2 years, it's been super impactful. So yeah, appreciate the guy a lot.
Austin, thanks for being live, dude. He has to dash. It's crazy how young of a company ClickFunnels is. And when did they start? 2014?
Man, that's a good question. I want to say a little bit earlier than that. It might have been 12 or 13, but
yeah. Okay. But I think because they're branding so well, it feels like they've been around for such a long part of my internet life, which is not true. I've probably known the internet way longer than ClickFunnels.
Yeah.
But they're just so they've created a huge community. You probably heard this question before at Dream 100 Con. What's your number one book that's changed your life the most?
The number one book that's changed my life is How to Win Friends and Influence People.
The second time I got that yesterday on live too. Dale Carnegie.
Dude, yeah. And there's a new one actually too, which is How to Win Friends and Influence People in the Digital Age. Definitely check that one. That one makes more sense for where we're at in the world. Check that one out because it's all about how to respond to people, because we're always so digital now, in our texts and our messages on social media. That's how we interact with people a lot nowadays. And so definitely check that out.
Yeah. Is it the same author? Is he dead or no?
No, I think it's owned by the same company. He has a company, but it's a different author. But they follow the same principles of the original book.
Gotcha. That's super interesting. Well, I mean, riffing off that, some tactics that have worked for me as far as building relationships online is either using voice or using video when you talk to someone, because text makes you look like everyone else. But if you send a direct message to someone, it's your voice or your video, they feel obligated to respond, and it builds that connection.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
We're wrapping up here soon, guys. But if you have any more questions for Kevin, ask them below. If we don't catch it on the live, he'll help you out after the live. Send you guys some links. What is your favorite podcast right now to listen to? Do you listen to podcasts much?
I'm not a huge podcaster because I don't spend a lot of time in my car anymore. My car is just collecting dust in the driveway right now. I'm thankful for that actually, because I don't commute anymore. But when I do, I would say I'm all in on ClickFunnels stuff, man. I love listening to Russell Brunson, and trying to think of another one just to kind of mix things up that I would listen to. Steven Larson's podcast is insane. The guy is just he just lets everything out. No holds bar, not holding anything back. So if you guys haven't heard of him, it's called what is it called? Sales Funnel Radio with Steven Larson. Definitely check that one out.
Yeah, some of the episodes he has coming out soon, like, is like, even me like producing it, like I still listen to the whole thing, even though I don't have to, because like I just want to hear what he's saying.
Right.
So this question might be a little too deep for you, but I always like to end this off because my whole thing is legacy podcasting. That's my group, Legacy Podcasters. What does like leaving a legacy mean to you?
Leaving a legacy to me is making an impact on people when you're not around anymore. As far as, you handing off like, your knowledge and what you've learned in your life and like handing it off to other people, because if you died today, you die with everything that's in your head. Like you don't share that information. So it's kind of like the more people that you can impact, the more it's kind of like you're spreading a virus, but like a positive virus. And so everyone has had, received the benefits of what you've learned in your life. And so sharing that with like, especially your kids, obviously I have 3 kids. And so instilling all the beliefs and all the things that I've learned in my life in them, and then also other people. Like I've discovered that in the last several years that I want to make an impact on the world, as opposed to just like, making videos is cool and everything, but like I want to help individuals and I want to help them be successful so that they can, affect their families and things like that. So it's just, yeah, that's what legacy means to me.
I love it, dude. Yeah, we got to do things like part of our daily living just to have an existence, but then there's bigger goals. I never know how to say this name, Geoff or Jeff. Love it, guys. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being live, dude.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool that you say that with legacy, because I mean, not to sound weird, but like, who knows, like in 100, 200 years, like we'll probably have everything uploaded to a computer. So we'll see how things progress.
Yeah.
Awesome show, Dan. Thanks, man. You have any last things you want to say, guys? If also like comment #VideoBoss. I know we have some, if you want us free training. Any last things you want to share where people can follow you? What's the best place?
I'm sort of making a little bit of a rebrand right now on some things, but right now it's go to @Video Marketing Secrets on Instagram. I might change the name of that, but we'll see. And definitely check out the training. What's that?
To be your name?
No, I'm thinking about changing it to Video Boss. I think I can. I don't know. We'll see if I can get that name right.
I like that. Video Boss. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So also, go to if you look for video hacks for entrepreneurs, there's a Facebook group, private Facebook group. You guys check that out. And I'm sharing content in there when I can. I need to get more active in there as far as sharing video tricks and tips with people. But it's a great community, man. Everyone, whenever they share their videos, everyone gives each other feedback, or they ask questions about like, what kind of camera should I get? That type of thing. So it's a great group.
Cool. I didn't even know you had a group, so I'm joining that right after this.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Thanks very much for doing this live. I know you're a busy guy and you got a lot on your plate. So maybe like later in the future, we'll catch up, see how things are going. And guys, give me a #Showtime if you made it this far. And now we have 7 viewers. What the heck? We're signing off, guys. All right. Peace out. You can catch the replay. Show Kevin some love down low too. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.